I guess it's possible for members to ask questions of members. Leave of the House is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? I trust it's in. Let me just check with the clerk to make sure there's no standing order against that. Normally a question to a member is to do with the member's responsibilities, but leave has been granted the member, the Honourable John Boscawen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Leader of the Opposition. Given that he's so concerned about youth unemployment, what responsibility does he and his colleagues take for the dramatic rise in youth unemployment after youth rates were cancelled, making it illegal for a young person to take a job at less than $13 an hour?
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, it's just as well the question's asked to the Leader of the Opposition because the Prime Minister doesn't give answers.
Order. Now I say to members, why was it difficult to see me on my feet? And there's absolutely, there's absolutely no reason to give an answer like that at all. Given the question asked, the Leader of the Opposition, actually I should point out things have changed a bit since the Leader of the Opposition was last a minister. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the answer is that at the time that Labor left office, the youth unemployment was a third of the level that it is now, and it was at that level because a Labor government actually invested in skill training for people. A Labor government created 350,000 new jobs, and a Labor government reduced the number of people on unemployment benefits to 17,000, and that's a track record I'm really proud of. The Prime Minister would do better to half that.
Order. No, the House did not grant leave for supplementary questions. Order. A point of order has been called. The Honourable John Boscawen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I asked the Honourable Leader of the Opposition a specific question. He didn't answer that question. He was asked what...
Order. Let me deal with this problem. Now, I say to some members, I've warned them once already, if I evict someone today, they'll be out for the rest of this week. Points of order will be heard in silence. The Honourable John Boscawen is making a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I asked leave of the House to ask a question of the Leader of the Opposition. That leave was granted. I'm entitled to have my question answered. The question was specifically what responsibility does the Leader of the Opposition and his colleagues take for the dramatic rise in youth unemployment since the minimum wage for 16 and 17-year-olds was dropped. And Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition pointed to the dramatic rise in youth unemployment. We already know that. What I'm asking, Mr. Speaker, is what responsibility he and his colleagues are prepared to take for the dramatic situation young New Zealanders find themselves in.
Order. I've heard the member's point, and in fairness to the Leader of the Opposition, he cited figures for unemployed young people, if I recollect correctly, when his government left office, and made various further comments about the levels, the changes in levels of unemployment. In other words, he was in many ways refuting the question of the member, which he's entitled to do in answering a question. I don't believe I can pull him back any tighter to the question than that. Now we come to... No, there's no... is this supplementary to the Prime Minister, question one? Well, I thought we'd moved beyond question one because the House gave leave for a question to a member. Order. I suppose leave was sought without my having moved to question two, so I will accept a supplementary question on question one. Chris Tremaine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My supplementary to the Prime Minister. How many 15 to 19-year-olds are unemployed now?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, well, good question. If one looks at the Household Labour Force survey, there are 26,700 in the 15 to 19-year-old category. Of those, 60% of them are at school, university, training or studying of some sort, which leaves 15,000 in that category. Mr. Speaker, it's worth making the point. That is 5% of the entire number of 15 to 19-year-olds in New Zealand. It's very easy to overstate a problem.
Question number 2, Tim McIndoe. Order